India's surgical strikes in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have turned into an all-out political war. Slamming the Congress Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, the BJP today came out all guns blazing, hitting out at the Khoon ki Dalali remark. Amit Shah said Rahul Gandhi had crossed all limits of propriety and that he had insulted Jawans who've been battling Pakistan-sponsored terror. The Congress Party hit back saying it's because of the BJP there is a terror organization called Jaish-e-Mohammed. What our political worthies fail to appreciate is the fact that Pakistan, hit hard after the surgical strikes, is latching on to every word and amplifying it.
जो हमारे जवान हैं जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो।
राहुल गांधी ने जब जवानों के खून की दलाली का शब्द प्रयोग किया तब उन्होंने सभी सीमाओं को लांघ दिया है।
Subtlety of language, nuanced criticism and measured words do not seem to hold any value anymore. India's surgical strikes are turning into a political slugfest. As Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi took the vicious Khoon ki Dalali jibe at Prime Minister Modi, the BJP tore into his remark.
राहुल जी ने इतने बड़े बड़े मसलों पर बयान देने की जगह आलू की फैक्ट्री पर कंसंट्रेशन करना चाहिए, जिससे उन्होंने जो कहा है वो देश की जनता के सामने है। ये बड़े बड़े मसलों पर उन्होंने बयान नहीं देना चाहिए।
Listing out the alleged scams during UPA's tenure, Amit Shah put out some tough questions.
बॉफोर्ड से लेकर एम्ब्रायर तक किसने दलाली की? कोयले से लेकर 2G तक किसने दलाली की? मैं मानता हूं कि दलाली शब्द आपके जहन में कहीं ना कहीं पड़ा होगा, मगर ये घटना ऐसी नहीं थी जहां पर ये शब्द आपके मुंह से निकलना चाहिए था।
Reiterated the Modi government stand that doubters won't be dignified by releasing proof.
जो अपने जान को हथेली में लेकर अपने देश की रक्षा के लिए, आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए मैदान में उतरे, उनको शंका के दायरे में ला रहे हैं। इसकी शुरुआत आप पार्टी के नेता श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल ने की। उन्होंने सबसे पहले सवाल उठाया कि इसके सबूत देना चाहिए।
The Congress countered by launching another scathing attack, saying BJP led to the birth of Jaish-e-Mohammed.
शायद ये हमले होते ही नहीं अगर जैश-ए-मोहम्मद पैदा नहीं होती। और जैश-ए-मोहम्मद को पैदा किसने किया? भाजपा ने। मसूद अजहर को रिहा किसने किया? भाजपा ने।
Further accused the Modi government for politicizing and claiming credit for the surgical strikes.
ये पोस्टरबाजी बंद करो। सेना की जो कामयाबी है उस पे राजनीति बंद करो। सेना को चुपचाप अपना काम करने दो।
As the war of words peaks over the surgical strikes, national interest has become the casualty yet again. Now the question is, can our nation put the nation above everything else? Bureau Report, India Today.
Yet this political war of words is not stopping. It's not restricted to Amit Shah and Rahul Gandhi. Round 2 was between two legal eagles, Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad and former Minister Kapil Sibal. All of this, like we just showed you, playing out in Pakistani media.
In fact, you must understand the feeling of Rahul Gandhi when he made this statement. When the first statement was made, it was to stand with the defense forces of our country, stand with the political establishment of the country, as Sonia Gandhi ji stood with Vajpayee ji.
Devotion to Rahul is more in the order of priority than devotion for the country. And defending Rahul is more important than defending the country.
Seeking proof of military operations is not only unjustified, it is illegal, says Special Public Prosecutor Ujjwal Nikam. He joins us on the broadcast. Mr. Nikam, welcome on India Today. Why do you say that seeking proof for military operations is illegal and unjustified? Is it illegal by law?
Gaurav, let me tell you very frankly that unfortunately some section of people are now asking for a proof for army's operation in PoK. I am really surprised that how they are entitled to ask for such a proof.
Okay.
Do they mean to say that they are not believing our Indian army? And when I am saying that this is totally unjustified, and not only unjustified and illegal, but by asking such proof, they are also putting our Indian army in danger to their life.
Now,
Let me tell you very frankly,
is there a
this
precedent?
army is operational. Pardon, yes, there is a precedent. Let me tell you, I have faced such a situation in the terror attack of Ajmal Kasab. When Ajmal Kasab was prosecuted along with two other terrorists, that time the court was asking me as to how your NSG commando had combated the terrorists. I said that they have killed the NSG commando have killed the terrorists. The court still wanted to know that what methods they have adopted in order to overpower the terrorists. I said that I am not going to examine the witness. This had happened on 25th September 2008.
Okay.
And let me tell you what had happened on that day. I am showing you the court has recorded in its order, Roznama also, that the IO has not recorded a statement of the commandos who were directly involved in the encounter with the terrorists at Taj and Nariman House. In my considered opinion, these are the witnesses who can give the best evidence in respect of the incident and Taj and Nariman House.
Okay.
The learned special PP means me, therefore, may consider whether he is intending to call them as a prosecution witness or otherwise, and let the court know. The decision of the court will depend upon the response of the special public prosecutor.
Okay.
Then immediately, I discussed with the senior officer as well as I discussed the NSG people, and I gave my advice not to disclose this strategy operation in the court.
Why was your advice that strategic information should not be made public, Mr. Nikam? Why should it remain confidential, sir?
Because Gaurav, if we'll open the entire strategy as to how we have combated and how I have overpowered the terrorists, perhaps the minutes, the details of the army action, that would have been exposed and that would have been in danger, that would have been in the public domain. And perhaps the other side, that is the enemy country, Pakistan may adopt counter strategy for this our army's actions in future. That possibility cannot be ruled out.
That's a good point you're making.
Happened on the 5th October.
The enemy will benefit. The enemy will benefit.
Gaurav, when on the 5th, definitely enemy will be benefit. Not only that, I say that the High Court has confirmed this my view. On 5th October, when I told the judge, told the court that no, I'm not going to examine any witness, commando. Then the court said that if you are not going to examine, the court would like to examine as a court witness because the court was in empower under the provision of the Criminal Procedure Code. So on 5th October, this is the court order.
Okay.
The learned special PP submitted a detailed report intimating the court that a prosecution has no intention to examine the command of National Security Guard as the prosecution witness. Since the learned special PP has submitted his report and has made the intention of prosecution clear that the prosecution do not want to examine NSG commando as the prosecution witnesses, I will consider the said report and decide as to whether other NSG commando who were directly involved in encounter with the alleged offenders at Nariman Hotel, Taj and etc. shall be called witness exert power.
That's a very important point you're making, Mr. Nikam.
And NSG and the state of Maharashtra, Gaurav, let me bear with 2 minutes.
Yes.
Then NSG and the state of the Maharashtra had challenged this order in the High Court. And the High Court has ruled that no evidence can be laid in the court in respect of the strategy. This is an order of the High Court, and High Court has clearly said that no, I would like to read it. The session judge shall ensure that no evidence is received or recorded and no question is allowed, including the cross and pertains or relates to the methods, technique, weapons, equipment, operational, communication, manner of combating terrorists and training of National Security Guard, including of the witnesses, and to the specific action and operations. This is the most important.
That's a zinger. That's the clincher, Mr. Ujjwal Nikam. So what would you say? What would you say to all these politicians? What would you say to all these politicians, Mr. Nikam?
Misdirecting the public at large.
Yes.
That there was no such, you see, surgical strikes. I fail to understand. If they don't want to believe, let them go in the hell. But if they want to say, then they can challenge in the court. They can ask the government to produce it. But certainly, they cannot put our Indian army at danger and the peril risk. I fail to understand.
What will you say to all these people who say produce evidence?
They are making some headlines in Pakistan that I am aware of it.
What will you say, Mr. Nikam?
You cannot, you see, put our Indian army in danger.
Yes, what will you say to Sanjay Nirupam, who says that it was fake?
Conscience can prevail in their mind.
What will you say to Sanjay Nirupam, sir?
And they should stop from unnecessary making such type of wild propaganda.
Okay. Mr. Nikam, you've hit the nail on its head. It's detrimental to national security. If this information about operation comes out in public domain, if videos come out, if pictures come out, it will only benefit the enemy. And that is one question our politicians should answer, the ones who want proof. Those who are asking for evidence, who do they want? Do they want the enemy to benefit? Do they want our country's enemies to benefit? Or do they want India to benefit? It's high time they learn to keep India first. I now want to shift focus to what's happening in Pakistan. It's globally isolated today because terrorists are roaming free across the country. This is not India hitting out at Pakistan, but this is Aitazaz Ehsan, a senior Pakistan People's Party leader who hit out at Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. There is increasing criticism from Pakistani people of the Pakistani leadership, both civil and military, and of course the deep state, for directly supporting terrorists like Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar. But the question is, will this shame Pakistan into taking action against them?
The military establishment's primacy, once unchallenged, is now under attack by the civilian government. According to a Pakistan national daily Dawn, the civilian government has issued a blunt and orchestrated warning to the ISI, seeking consensus on several key actions: act against terrorists or face international isolation. Reportedly, Pakistan has agreed to two sets of actions. First, ISI DG General Rizwan Akhtar has been asked to take an interprovincial tour of the 4 provinces. The rationale behind this is that military-led agencies cannot interfere if law enforcement acts against terror groups. Nawaz Sharif's so-called attempt to tame the Pakistan army soon fell flat, as their military chief Rahul Sharif spewed venom yet again. This when Islamabad's choice of its next army chief is crucial for Nawaz Sharif to reassert his hold over his country's defense and foreign affairs. One thing is clear, after being diplomatically ostracized across the
people in Pakistan realize that internationally it is under the scrutiny for being a state sponsor of terror. SARC has been called off. This is perhaps the biggest attack that Pakistan mounted diplomatically on Kashmir. It didn't get one taker, not one taker at either the United Nations General Assembly or the Security Council. Will this make Pakistan change its track and stop sponsoring terror in India? I want to bring in Meher Tarar. She's a senior journalist in Pakistan. She joins us on the show. She's a columnist. Also with me is Major General Rajesh Singh. He's a noted defense analyst. He's commanded a division when it comes to counter terrorism and operations in this country. Welcome on the show. Meher, I want to come to you first. Will we see a change in Pakistan? Will we see Pakistan genuinely go after India-centric terrorists?
As I've always believed and as I've always said, it's very important for Pakistan to go after terrorists who are not harming people just in Pakistan, but also in India or in Afghanistan or in any other country. I don't think Pakistan is isolated diplomatically, internationally, but yet most major countries have reiterated this time and again that Pakistan must stop compartmentalizing terror, but terrorist or militant groups in Pakistan, within Pakistan. And just to
Will
just
we
to give
see
you an
a change,
example,
Meher? Meher Tarar, will we
No,
see a change?
This is from Pakistan Muslim League member of Parliament. He said this. This was a standing committee on foreign affairs, and the person said that India has built such a case against us about the JUD chief that during the meeting on Kashmir, foreign delegates mentioned Hafiz Saeed as the bone of contention between Pakistan and India. This is the PMLN, the ruling party's parliamentarian. He also said that he had rarely heard about Hafiz Saeed during his 25 years in politics.
I mean, he must be the most
considered
ignorant politician in Pakistan, ma'am.
No,
if he hasn't heard of
seriously,
Hafiz Saeed,
No,
a
but this is-
designated
this is-
global terrorist, ma'am.
You say, yes, that is the point. He's still saying he's very confused. He, like many of us, I tell you this time and again that I don't know what Hafiz Saeed is doing in Pakistan because
He
nobody
leads
mentions
the
him in the
Eid
media.
namaz from the Gaddafi stadium.
Yes, and that is not mentioned in our newspapers. We get it from online reports. Nobody mentions him in Pakistan because he's not significant to anybody or any
That is
narrative.
because General
Having
Singh, he's
said
killing
that-
Indians. He's
having
Pakistan's
said that-
strategic asset.
Gaurav, relax. Or anybody and everybody who has ever said anything about India or about waging war with India or about waging jihad in Pakistan has been kind of, allowed to function in Pakistan. That is the fact, and I'm not going to deny that.
No, but
They-
will we
all
see
these
action
people-
now,
all-
ma'am?
Yes.
Will we see action? Because this suits Rahil Sharif. It suits him. His army
it
cannot
doesn't.
take on
It
India, so
doesn't.
his terrorists
It
do.
doesn't. It doesn't. These are not Rahil Sharif's terrorists. These are. I'm not defending the army. I'm not defending the government. Anybody in Pakistan, people who are not from Pakistan, for ambassadors from other countries, you talk to correspondents from other countries. When I talk to them, just to have a discussion, everybody is clear that yes, it is not the army, but the fact that all these groups are still operating in Pakistan without being stopped, and the Mumbai attacks perpetrators have not been brought to justice. Pathankot has not seen a closure, and Jaish-e-Mohammed Azhar, I always forget his name.
Masood Azhar.
Masood Azhar is still roaming around, and all these people are still holding rallies. Of course, it goes against the very premise of the National Action Plan that Pakistan has put forward in front of Pakistanis and the world. It is I do think something will happen. Yes, there have been denials about the report in Dawn, but the fact that it has appeared, it's not that Dawn newspaper was not allowed to print that report,
Okay.
or Dawn has been asked to retract that report from its website. I'm very happy to see that this thing has happened.
No, but Meher
civilian
Tarar, why I
government-
want to bring in General Singh into this discussion is Pakistan, as always, speaks in multiple voices. So you don't know which voice to take seriously in Pakistan. The army will be aggressive. The terrorists will continue to spew venom. The track to, the cocktail circuit lobby will always say there should be peace. But on ground, General Singh, you've had 3 tenures along the line of control. Has there been any change in Pakistan's attitude?
Now there will be.
Well, Gaurav, I would like to just firstly bring out the background to this particular issue. As far as it's a stated fact, and everyone knows that the Pakistan army is the real power center in the country. Nothing moves or happens without their concurrence. The civilian government over there, as we know, is basically powerless against the army. Thereafter, then the ISI is virtually controlled by them. All the top level officers, including the Director General, they're all serving army officers who do the bidding at the behest of the Pakistan Army Chief.
Any change on ground, General? Any change on ground?
So-
will they stop training terrorists? Will
No.
they close launch pads after the surgical strike?
No, they will not. Instead, these things are going to go up much more because they have got that terrorist infrastructure which is over there. Safe havens are there. It is going to be in a more aggressive manner. These things are going to take place much more.
So you're a
over
gunner
there.
officer. How should India deal with this?
Now, as far as I'm concerned, basically punitive action and an appropriate response needs to be taken. If, for example, if we would have taken appropriate response, that is to the 26/11 strike which was over there, we would not have had this thing. Thereafter,
Okay.
Pathankot,
Yes.
and now Uri, at least now there has been the political will,
Okay.
and we had gone across. And
Mayor
we had
Tarar,
carried-
merit in what the general says. Had India
I'm
been
sorry.
assertive
no,
post
no,
2011,
This is-
we've made the
you see,
mistake of
the-
trusting
there-
Pakistan again
there
and
is-
again and again and being stabbed by Pakistan
Everybody-
repeatedly.
People, number one, why has it become, a derogatory word to talk about peace? All these track to people, the cocktail circuit or Aman Ki Asha. I'm so happy that these people still exist among this warmongering crowd, which is everywhere in your country as well as in mine.
No, at least in our
Pakistan
country it's
Army-
not warmongering. It's a
Pakistan-
very desperate prayer for safety against Pakistan
If you
sponsored
people
terror.
was- if it was,
is
if
not
it was-
warmongering.
Then it is warmongering. If you people do not want to believe that Pakistan Army, Pakistan government, Pakistan ISI, Pakistan people have nothing to gain at this point in time, if they,
Why
if they
don't
wage
we see
any kind
action
of
on ground, madam? Why don't we see any action? Any action?
If Pakistan was in any mood to have any kind of war with India, then after this, which we call
No, wars don't happen
so-called
because of
surgical-
Pakistan's
Sir,
mood. Pakistan
sir,
is in no position
so-
to have a war with India. It does not have weapons to have a war with India.
How true? Afghanistan is a tiny country, and America has not been able to get out of there in 14 years. So let's not act on macho, and let's not show which country is bigger and which has bigger guns. Americans are still dying in Afghanistan, a tiny country on any scale, on any index of the world. So let's not talk about war. Pakistanis do not have anything to gain by waging any kind of war.
Why
proxy
why
war,
doesn't
or
the
a proxy
Pakistani
war.
government then arrest Hafiz Saeed,
They are very
arrest
clear.
Masood
They are very
Azhar,
clear.
close down
They are
terror
very-
training camps?
they-
It is
I'm
so
sure they
doable.
will.
Why is it not happening?
I'm sure they will now. I'm sure they will. They have been doing these half-hearted things. Now I'm sure that since it's out in the open, what they plan to do, I hope and I think they will do. Somebody like Etazaz Hassan, he's been with People's Party for a number of years. He's one of the most respected politicians in Pakistan. If he's saying this, if he's challenging the government and what you say about the chief of army stuff, those are only responses when somebody asks a Faujis are trained to fight. That's all they are basically trained
But
to
your
do. If
Faujis are
somebody
trained
asks
to
him-
train terrorists. General Singh.
No,
General Singh.
For you, it is. For a number of years, everybody thought that it was what they were doing in Kashmir was what they should be doing. They thought Kashmir was. They still think Kashmir is a disputed territory, and people
they
are
should-
dying there. People are
They
being harmed there.
should start living in the 21st century.
You might think otherwise, but accept the reality. That's what Pakistanis believe. That's what the UN resolutions say. Pakistanis think that what's happening in Kashmir shouldn't
Then
have
they should
happened, but
read
now
the
they
UN
have
resolution instead of reading how to make a bomb. My only submission.
The
Will you
UN
see a
resolutions
change?
talk about self-determination, Gaurav. Yeah, there will be a change.
You can't link terror. No, Meher Tarar, it comes from educated, intelligent people like you. If it comes from that madrasa type Hafiz Saeed, he may be illiterate and he can talk about terror and Kashmir. Educated Pakistanis should not. There is no link. General, is there a link between terror and Kashmir? Pakistan may think so, but genuinely, is there?
There is basically no link as far as that is concerned. Now, I would like to answer Gaurav's question regarding whether there is going to be any change also. There is going to be no change because you see, the Pakistan army is so embroiled in it that they are not going to leave this particular thing. because
No, no,
it is
just
their
one last-
strategic asset, and we should know that on the line of control it is basically eyeball to eyeball confrontation, and in case if some people are coming from the other side onto our side, so that means it has a tacit support or a open support of the Pakistan army. Today it is the Pakistan army which dictates everything over there, so it is basically they have to be addressed properly.
Mayor, closing comments to you. I have run out of time on the
Gaurav,
show.
I have never ever endorsed an armed struggle in Kashmir, notwithstanding the justification.
No, but I want to talk about Pakistan-sponsored terror. How does Kashmir come into this?
It gives a lot of people in Pakistan.
Okay, Mayor, is Pakistan talking about cracking down on terrorists only because globally people are not listening to you, to Pakistan, either on terror, on Kashmir, or the bogey that Pakistan has come out all along? Is that the only reason? You stand isolated. America's cut down on military aid. America's cut down on other aid. Even China is neutral.
Still there. America is still there, China is still there, Russia is still there, UK is still there, all countries other than India and the
I'm sorry, the entire SAARC blocked you, ma'am.
Yes, they have. Yes, the SAARC block. Allow me to say something seriously. I get a headache when I have to scream with people who do not want to hear. That's what Pakistanis say. You people do not want to have peace with Pakistan because you keep saying
we don't want Pakistan-sponsored terror. You know, the only export, Mayor Tarar, the only export India does not want from Pakistan is state-sponsored terror. Just stop terror, and I think every Indian says only one thing: stop terror, and let's talk peace. Let's talk development of this entire region, or perhaps, as Government of India is now moving forward on a Pakistan minus South Asia developing further. But for the moment, General Singh and Meher Tarar in Pakistan, many thanks for joining me. We will continue to track this story very closely because for us, it is, as always, India first. Rahul Gandhi comes up next. He gets you the inside track of that surgical strike inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to destroy terrorist training camps. That 2-hour special on India Today. Coming up, stay with us.